8 differences between a businessman and an entrepreneur. Success lovers and financial independence seekers, you are welcome back to Coach DY's Coaching on YouTube. The key differences between a businessman and an entrepreneur include a person who brings in his unique idea to run a startup company is known as an entrepreneur. But a businessman is a person who starts a business on an old concept or idea. A businessman makes his place in the market with his efforts and dedication, whereas an entrepreneur creates the market for his own business. The businessman is a market player, whilst an entrepreneur is a market leader because he is the first to start such kind of enterprise. The nature of a businessman is calculative, but an entrepreneur is intuitive. As the businessman follows the footsteps of the other businessmen, the possibility of failure is very less, which is just opposite in the case of the entrepreneur. A businessman uses traditional methods to run the business. Conversely, an entrepreneur applies unconventional methods for the same goal. A businessman is oriented towards profit. However, an entrepreneur is a people-focused in essence. He gives more importance to his employees, customers, and the public. The businessman faces extreme competition because it is very difficult to gain a competitive position in an already existing market, which is not in the case of an entrepreneur. A business person who is engaged in carrying out any activity related to commercial and industrial purposes is known as a businessman. He sets up his business as a new entrant into the market. When it comes to originality of ideas, most of the businessmen go for a business which is highly in demand or which can make huge profits for them irrespective of uniqueness. A business person faces tough competition because there are hundreds of rivals already existing in the market and they're taking the same business, although the risk factor is low because he works on a path that is already tested by the rivals, so the chances of failure are relatively low. The main objective of a businessman for conducting the economic activities is to generate revenue by employing the human, financial, and intellectual resources. By virtue of this, customers are treated as the king of business by the businessman. An entrepreneur, on the other hand, is a person who conceives a unique idea or concept to start an enterprise and brings it into reality. He is the person who bears risk and uncertainties of the business. The venture established by the entrepreneur is known as a startup company, which is formed for the very first time regarding the idea, innovation, or business process. In economics, the entrepreneur is considered as the most important factor of production, which assembles and mobilizes the other 3 factors of production, that is land, labor, and capital. In the long run, these entrepreneurs become business people. Entrepreneurs are known for their creative approach. They introduce innovation and coordinate the resources. They offer such products and services which bring about a change in the world. Some real-life examples of such entrepreneurs are Bill Gates, that is the founder of Microsoft, Mark Zuckerberg, co-founder of Facebook, Larry Page, co-founder of Google, Steve Jobs, co-founder of Apple, Elon Musk, among others. Another example in the case of Ghana, in the aspect of entrepreneurship, Joseph Ajipon, CEO of Zoomlion. So whereas others like the Kasapreko brand are producing one form of alcoholic beverage or the other, you can see that when you mention Zoomlion, in the aspect of waste management, they are the pioneers in Ghana, and you can mention Joseph Ajipon as an entrepreneur. But when it comes to others in the media fraternity, like Despite and Co., you will say they are typical business people. To conclude, I will say that a businessman is a businessman. An entrepreneur is also an entrepreneur. An organizer, a risk taker, a manager at the same time. The former, which is the businessman, focuses on competition, but the latter gives emphasis on coordination and cooperation of all the resources. I am Coach DY. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you in my next video. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, do so, because every week I'm going to be giving you more education on how to succeed and become financially independent.